8 out of the top 10 cities in terms of population are beyond the control of the regime. That is not a fact you can deny. He also at times seemed very genuinely misinformed, as if to suggest that he was disconnected from those who are informing and making decisions that are close to his death.
Could he be, on that point, could he be cut off, do you think? I mean, do you think that there could be a sort of a closing ranks around the top leader, Gaddafi, and his sons to sort of, in some ways, weirdly kind of protect them from what's going on?
Possibly, but we have to also remember that in the last 10 years, while Saif al-Islam was pushing himself as the reformist, every single initiative and effort he made was sort of undermined by the very people around his father, including his own father and his other brothers. So that would suggest that the internal dynamics within that family and within the regime have always been placed against Saif al-Islam, and hence I think what you're seeing is a lot of frustration that comes across as being also misinformation.
Any cracks in the sort of the circle that's around Gaddafi?
I think cracks within the military commanders and possibly the senior advisors, having lost a number of them right now and replacing them with people who are only genuinely committed, who've proven to be loyalists over the last 30, 40 years. We don't really know at this moment in time who is closest to him and who is actually making decisions on the ground, especially decisions on the military, on the security, on dealing with the outside world. And that would be one of the important things to watch for in the next few days.
OK, Tariq Youssef, thank you very much indeed for your analysis there.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Well, let's go to Libya itself now, and we have Mohammed Nusrat, a resident in the western town of AlJazeera. He's on the line now. Thank you for joining us, sir. I understand there's been a lot of fighting where you are. Can you tell us what you know?
Yes, hello. 11 a.m. in the morning today, there was people going to the middle square of Zawiya to go to the gathering there. But then Gaddafi forces, trying to prohibit them from going and attack them with machine guns and heavy weapons. A number of deaths and injuries was reported there. Also, people from the middle square moved to the site to try to help people to join the gathering, but were again attacked by Gaddafi forces.
So who is in control of AlJazeera now?
It is, well, the people in Zawiya has joined the Council of Libya formed in Benghazi. It's the political representative of the people of Zawiya.
So, sorry, you're saying that the opposition movement, the anti-Gaddafi protesters, are now in control of AlJazeera?
Yes, most of Zawiya, except the refinery and the oil refinery and some outside and entrances of Zawiya is still guarded by Gaddafi forces.
So that would suggest that you're surrounded in there.
Yes, that's true. People, it's Zawiya, the middle center of Zawiya is surrounded by Gaddafi forces in the main roads. Even people who try to join the gatherings are trying to take the side roads.
So is there still fighting going on at the moment?
It's relatively quiet. It's relatively quiet at the moment. But most importantly, at 4 p.m. this afternoon, people were trying to organize a peaceful demonstration, just walking on the main street of Zawiya. But then at the eastern end of Zawiya, they were attacked heavily by Gaddafi forces, and there were many kills. And they were not even there was no ambulances or any kind of help to those guys who were attacked. There was an ambulance who tried to help, but then when approaching the Gaddafi forces, they were attacked, and the driver was probably now killed. We don't know the situation with the driver, but he was still in the car, no move, after he was shot at.
OK, thank you very much indeed, sir, for joining us with your reports there, your eyewitness accounts from AlJazeera. And just to remind our viewers there, our guest there from AlJazeera was saying that a number of people were attacked and a number of people were killed and injured in what were attacks on peaceful demonstrations this afternoon in the town of Azawiyah, and he said that the town was actually encircled by pro-Gaddafi forces, but he said that the centre of the town was in the control of the anti-Gaddafi movement. Well, there have been more anti-government protests in the region. In Iraq, riot police used batons and water cannon to disperse demonstrators on the streets of the southern city of Basra, and thousands converged on Baghdad's Tahrir Square for a second Friday. They're calling for improved services, better pay and an end to corruption. Many walked for miles to reach the protest after authorities banned cars from entering the city centre. Crowds in Jordan's capital, Amman, have been demanding political reforms and a constitutional monarchy. Jordan's Prime Minister has rejected calls to strip King Abdullah of his powers. The government has made several concessions in the past month, but opposition groups say they don't go far enough. And hundreds of Omanis have demonstrated across the Sultanate demanding jobs and political reforms. The normally sleepy Gulf country has seen a series of protests for and against Sultan Qaboos bin Said, who's ruled with absolute power for 40 years. There's been further unrest on the streets of Bahrain as protesters call for sweeping political reforms. Thousands of anti-government demonstrators surrounded state television headquarters in the town of Isa. It follows clashes between Sunni and Shia groups on Thursday, the first direct confrontation between the two sides since the start of large-scale protests. And there have been demonstrations elsewhere in the Arab world, including in Yemen. Protesters in the capital Sana'a called for the end of the veteran president's rule. And in northern Yemen, it's reported that at least 4 people have been killed during anti-government protests. A funeral service has been held for Pakistan's murdered minorities minister. Shahbaz Bhatti was gunned down for opposing a law that imposes the death penalty in Islam. A report from Islamabad is coming up.
And we'll have all the latest from cyberspace, including reports of attacks in the Egyptian city of Alexandria.
As the clouds roll in across the Mediterranean, you'll still find it easy to drift away.
Welcome back. First, across India, we're looking at some very warm temperatures. They're going to be in the mid-30s for most of the weekend from Saturday as well as into Sunday. As you can see, Nagpur at 35s, Kolkata, it'll be seeing about 35 degrees as well, but you're going to be seeing some clouds in your forecast. Down to the south, we are going to be picking up some rain for Sri Lanka. Now, they had a nice break from the flooding that they had seen. We need to watch this very carefully. More rain is in the forecast. We do have some lands that are still flooded, so this could actually aggravate the situation that is going on in the region. I now want to take you down towards parts of South Africa. We're looking at some very heavy rain showers across Namibia as well as into Angola. Those showers could lead to some flooding as well, but we have also seen flooding over the last several weeks for the northern part of Mozambique, especially in the river valleys. We had seen over 20,000 people displaced because of the very heavy showers in the region. Madagascar is still going to be seeing some extremely heavy rain over the next couple of days, but not too bad down towards South Africa. Cape Town at 26 degrees, partly cloudy. The showers will be just to the east, and Johannesburg will be sunny, about 27 degrees for you. Well, up towards the Arabian Peninsula, we are looking at some cooler conditions.